Yo, what's up everyone, my name is Paradox and you're watching Paradox Gaming. I know about the inconsistency in the uploads. The last upload was 1 year ago. I could have made a 3-month-old baby by now. Well, let me tell you something. Firstly, my college started shortly after the last upload. Then there was the time that went into building the Megabase, 70% of which went into planning. The last reason is a peculiar behavior called lazing around. It is displayed especially by teenagers nearing adulthood, during which time they have to make the most crucial decisions of their life. Anyways, after the last upload where we dug 12 chunks down to bedrock, my next goal was to build a megabase in that massive hole of mine. I wanted to build the largest megabase in the server. Okay, maybe not the largest, but unlike these shallow shells, my megabase would have the most depth to it. Literally. My initial plan was to build a mob farm in the basement. The mobs would be funneled down into a central bubble elevator where they would be pushed up for players to persecute. So after spending a month building cobblestone platforms and wiring up the redstone circuits, I realized this shit is not working. The mob spawn rates were inversely proportional to the amount of time I spent building this shit, and the bubble elevator wasn't fitting properly in the middle. So we scrapped that plan. After spending a few days and doing a month's worth of work, my new plan was to build a storage system in the basement. After building the platforms and placing the chests, something just didn't feel right. My original plan was to sort only 51 different item types, but after seeing how empty it looked, I decided to upscale the storage to sort 534 item types. But to actually execute that idea, I needed to plan the blueprint of the storage, and with my 2 active brain cells, that would take months of my time. But after a lot of planning and hard work, done. That definitely didn't take half a year. We only had to plan out the entire design, make a list of all 534 items, make more platforms, gather materials for the item sorters, build the item sorters, build the water streams, connect the water streams on different floors, gather all the items from the list, place them in the filter hoppers, build the processing layer, and there you have it, our super storage system. How does it work? All the items are first collected in these buffer chests. They are then dropped using these dropper systems into the water streams. It is then collected by these sorters which filter out the item types that need to be processed. These items are either smelted, cooked, or converted into other items using autocrafters. The items then end up in this secondary buffer chest, which funnels them into these dropper circuits that shoot them out at hopper speed. The items then run through the water streams and get sorted in their respective chests. The items that don't get sorted end up in these excess storage chests. The whole system isn't entirely complete yet. We still need to fill up most of the filter hoppers with the items they need to sort, and there are other small changes that we need to make, but that can happen in the background whilst we work on the rest of the base. Now before you guys crash out asking why I didn't build a multi-item sorter, that's because I didn't know they existed until I had built half the storage. And even after I got to know, the tutorial that I found treat you like you have a PhD in redstone or something, and in my defense, I have 2 brain cells. Besides, my goal wasn't to build the most practical storage system in the server. My goal was to build the most comically large storage system in the server, and that I did achieve, hopefully. The new update adds copper golems to Minecraft. These golems can automatically sort items into their designated chests. After crying about it for hours, I decided to leave this space so that when the golems are added to Java and the server updates to that version, I can use them to sort the items which aren't sorted by the main storage. I then built a moss farm for bone meal and moss items, a honeybee farm for honeycomb, a lava farm for fuel, an auto smelter to smelt items. I built another honeybee farm for honey blocks, a flower farm for dyes, a cactus farm for bone meal, a bamboo farm for wood, a sugarcane farm for paper, a carrot farm, a potato farm, and a third farm for wheat and bread. I also built an iron farm which was as dysfunctional as I am, an auto brewer to brew splash potions of weakness, a villager breeder to breed volunteers, and a zombie hut to teach them manners. All 3 of those are of course needed mainly for the villager trading hall. I deepened my voice to sound more sexy. Anyways, the next big project to build was the villager trading hall. It's supposed to be a public spawn, which basically means every player on the server and their grandma can teleport to it and use it, which essentially enriches the spirit of communism in the hearts of the players. It took a damn long time to show the volunteers their workplaces. The ones that didn't show the spirit of communism were sent to this room to learn some manners. But after a long unemployed grind, the basic structure of the trading hall was finished. We included every single villager profession at the trading hall, including farmers for golden carrots, shepherds for banners, clerics for pearls and XP bottles, leather workers for the love of the game, fishermen for fish, butchers for chicken, masons for quartz blocks and terracotta, fletchers for tipped arrows, cartographers for maps and banner patterns, weaponsmiths for diamond weapons, toolsmiths for diamond tools, and armorers for diamond armor. And lastly, librarians. We have every single librarian enchantment in the game. Each trade is at its cheapest natural price, or at most 3 emeralds above the cheapest natural price. And then finally, after adding the signboards for navigation and sealing of the area, the villager trading hall was done. Which brings us to the last part of the base, the mob XP farm. The farm is also supposed to be a public spawn, to enrich the spirit of communism in the hearts of the players. It's built directly on top of our base. I followed a design by Potato Noir for the tower and clock, and made the water funneling area separately. Unfortunately, UN happens to be a paper server. And God bless the creators of Paper MC, because the only thing they're getting from me are curses. After building 80% of the farm, I realized the despawn sphere around the players is not 128 blocks, which meant only half the platforms I built ended up being useful, and the rest of them were just impotent. And even those 50% of the platforms were only useful when I built the killing area directly under the water funnel. Originally, I had built the killing area at the roof, and the mobs would be funneled up using a water elevator, but afterwards I had to break the whole thing and shift the killing area to the underside of the water funnel. Finally, after all that grinding, the mob XP farm was also done. And then finally, after 2 fucking years, the base has been completed. This definitely took way longer than it should have, which is thanks to poor planning and inconsistency. Now I know what you're thinking. This isn't a base, it's just a bunch of farms clumped together in a giant hole. And even that hole hasn't been filled to the top. And you would be right. It's just that I don't give a shit, dude! This whole project has been dragged out for so long at this point that I don't really care. Everything on my checklist has been built and the base is complete for me. Shout out to my teammates for all the unpaid labor they did. It just goes to show the spirit of communism is alive in the hearts of the players. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a like, and please do subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you in the next one.